What is going on, my YouTube friends? Welcome back to the channel. So another Tuesday, another Black Charger video. So I'm really excited for today's video. Today's gonna be a fun little video. So for those of you out here who are brand new to the channel, first off, welcome, but want to introduce you to one of our current builds. This is a 2006 Dodge Charger RT. It is a pursuit trim, so it's a retired police vehicle. It's got the 5.7 liter V8. So I bought it off of Facebook Marketplace for $1,200. It was not running. You can see it's definitely seen some better days. So in our last video, we finally got this thing fixed. So make sure to go check out that video. But yeah, sitting on some crazy 26-inch wheels that we'll be swapping out. Interior is super plain. We got some stained seats up there. You know, it's about as base as it gets, but that's what we love. It's a perfect blank canvas for us to work with because we are going through and completely customizing this entire car. So I know it may not look like much right now. It may even look pretty bad right now. But by the time we are done building this thing, it's gonna be super, super cool. And it's gonna be an absolute one-of-one build. And that's why I'm so excited for today, because today we're gonna start getting to some of the fun stuff. So right up here, we've got some custom seat covers as well as a custom steering wheel cover. So what I like to do is try to customize these cars while still also on a budget. You know, I'm always looking around for some good deals. We are gonna be doing a complete interior transformation. So we are going to be swapping out this headliner with a suede one, installing a Starlight headliner. We've got a new head unit coming in, and then we've got some ambient lighting and quite a few other things. So this is not gonna be the entire interior transformation, but I wanna go ahead and start getting to work on this. So we're gonna give this thing some new seats and a new steering wheel cover. And I think these two things are going to completely change the car. All right, so without further ado, let's go get into today's video. Let's get these seats swapped out. Let's get this new steering wheel cover installed, and let's start working on this thing. Want to give a huge shout out to Kustom Interior. I reached out to them asking if they'd be interested in sponsoring this build. And you know, they loved the idea of the channel. They loved the idea of being a part of it. So super happy and excited to have them be a part of this. And these seat covers are not your normal seat covers. So you're gonna see once we break these open and get them installed, these are about as high quality as they get. And they're not that expensive because, you know, if you go through and swap out these seats for, you know, some Scat Pack or some SRT seats, it will cost you anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000. So if you want to change up the feel of your interior without breaking the bank, highly recommend you go check them out, kustominterior.com, and you can use this link down below to pick up your seat covers. Let's get them unboxed and take a look at them. All right, so let's get these things opened up real quick. All right, let's see what we've got. So here we go. You can kind of get a quick little idea. Super, super cool. Let's get these out of the bag. So here is a look at what our seats are going to look like. So I think this is part of the back. Yeah, they do sell them for all sorts of different makes and models. So here's the middle back seat. So maybe actually, let's go throw these on the ground so we can get them all sprawled out. So these are those seat covers where you do remove your own seats, which I love. You know, it is a little bit more work having to remove your seats to install them, but you know, the finished product turns out way better than just those cheap Amazon or eBay seat covers that are like universal ones. You know, a full set of those eBay ones or Amazon ones will still cost you like $200. And these are, I believe, $500 for the entire set. So you can tell for, you know, a difference of $300, there's a huge quality difference in them. They feel and smell like brand new seats.
I don't think you're gonna know you have seat covers on.
Yeah, no, you literally will not even know that these are seat covers. And that is basically this company's goal, is they wanted to create some seat covers that did not feel like seat covers. So it's a really awesome way to, you know, transform the interior of your car without having to spend $3,000 on new seats. So here is another look at these seat covers. And they do have all sorts of different designs with the stitching. So I loved this hexagon style stitching, the black leather with the white stitching. You got the white over here on the sides and then around the hexagon, then you got that little line in the middle. So here we've got our front two seats with the bottoms, and then these are the back seats. Then we've got all the headrests. Man, these are going to really transform the interior of this car. So hopefully y'all can kind of start to see the vision. This thing is going to start really coming together. All right, so now that we have all of the seat covers out, let's go ahead and work on removing the seats in here. Let's get these seats out of the car, and then I will show you exactly how to install them. So as y'all just saw, we took out the rear seats. So we got both sections out. What I'm gonna do right now actually is just get rid of all of this trash. Right now it is just a really good time to, clean all this stuff up while we have the seats out. Just kind of clean these areas a little bit, and then we will work on installing the seat covers over there. Alright, so we just got all of the seats out of the Charger, and I'll show you what we've got going on out here. So we've got the 2 original seats that we just removed. I actually went and just picked up a set of these off of a newer Charger. So the seat covers fit with, it says 2015 and up Dodge Charger seats. These are out of a 2011 though. On their website, there's 2 different seat styles. There's the sport ones, which are these, and then the comfort ones, which are like on the Scat Packs and the SRTs. And so here's a little look at the ones that we just pulled out of the Charger. You can see that they're super, super narrow. So these ones have quite a bit more side bolstering. And then the same with the bottoms. They're a little bit more padded down there as well. So I picked these up for $150 for the entire set. So not bad at all. And honestly, these seats aren't too bad to begin with, but they are that cloth, which I'm not really the biggest fan of. We got the side pieces for the rear seat as well, the entire back seat section, and then these front 2. So the seat covers were made to fit these exact seats. So I'm sure they would have worked on the original ones, but there might have been a little bit of extra room in there. These are gonna fit nice and snug. So if you have a 2005 to 10, I believe, Charger, the 6th gen, you want these seat covers to fit, you are gonna have to find some newer ones, but clearly if you have a 7th gen and up, then you can just literally put the seat covers on. But yeah, $150, not bad at all. This entire seat transformation is gonna cost us $650, and not only are we getting the covers for this one, but we are getting some more comfortable seats. So super excited about that. All right, so now with all of the seats out, I will show you real quick how to install them, and then I'll just go through and time lapse the rest of it. But it's a super simple and straightforward install. So that's what's really cool about these. And with these front ones, I'm actually not going to take them apart. These ones, you can still get a really good fitment without separating them. Let's go ahead and get this first one installed real quick. Okay, so first thing you want to do is clearly remove the headrest. Let's actually move this seat over a little bit. So for these, you just push in that tab, they slide right out. All right, so first thing I'm gonna start with is the backrest portion. So super simple and easy. These also do have the pocket in the back, which is awesome. And these are made with, in the case of an accident, all of the airbags will still deploy exactly how they're supposed to. So that's what's really cool about these. Safety is always one of the top priorities. So it's as easy as this. You will just slide it on, just kind of pull on one side and then the other. And then the zipper is over here on this side. And then you'll just line up the headrest holes just like that. So why don't we throw on the headrest real quick, and then I'll show you how to tighten all this stuff down. So you'll just line it up with the angle of the headrest. So this one goes just like that. And it's nice, they do make these pretty tight. So It'll just take a little bit of finessing to get it on, but I definitely prefer that because it'll just make the fitment a whole lot better. And then you'll just take the Velcro, tie it down, and there you have your headrest. And then we'll just push that little side buckle piece down again, and it goes just like that. So first off, I'm gonna start with these right here. So the way that these work is you will tuck it down in between the two seats, so the bottom and the back. So it goes in like that, and then you will pop it up so it sits like this. Kind of hard to explain. My hand, for example, is this bottom seat cushion. You'll slide it in like that, and then you'll push it so it sits vertical. So it'll sit vertical against the two seat cushions which hold it in place. You'll just tuck that all the way down and then push it so it sits vertical. And this one has 3 of them. So, and there you go. It's as easy as that. And now for this back section right here, not sure where these went. This is off of the factory seat right here. But you'll just take this, and what I did is fed it away from the wires, and then I just buckled it right here to part of the metal seat frame. So I'm sure you could do this anywhere. You want it to be tight, so I'll show you. If you can see, here's one, and then I did the same thing over here on that side. So that keeps that back section down. And now we've got the backrest. So here's a look at it. And you can see this is really all that shows is this little section right here. And you know, once the seat's in, that's something you'll never really even be able to notice. But for being a seat cover, this is about as good as it possibly gets. And now we just have to do this bottom section. So this one's super easy as well. It's got those same 3 things, same thing. You push them down in that crack and then pop them so that they sit vertical in between the 2 seats. And then it's got a strap that will go all the way underneath the cushion. And then it's got these 2 hooks as well, like the backrest section. So we'll just kind of slide it on. We'll start with these back here. Start with the middle one to line up the stitching pattern. Let's do the side buckles. So for this, I'm just going to feed it right through there. The same thing with this side. And then the last part are just these same 2 clips. And there you have it. So here is a look at the finished product. Literally just takes a few minutes to do, and you can see how good these things look. Honestly, so impressed. So for $500, the difference that these make are insane. So now what I'm gonna do is just set up a time lapse. We will install the seat covers on the rest of these, and then I'll show you the finished product. Okay, so now we got all of the seat covers installed. Really transformed the look of this car. You can see that our steering wheel is in desperate need of some attention. You can see it's starting to get a little bit worn up there. And here is the steering wheel cover. So this is how it'll sit. I did get the one with the 12 o'clock pinstripe. I love how those look. So that will sit at the top of the wheel just like this, and then it's just regular leather, and then the sides are perforated leather. You can see right here, literally a perfect match with the seats. So cool. You know, black and white is just so clean, and with the vinyl wrap, it's just gonna all come together. So bit by bit, you're gonna see this car get transformed, and you know, it's in some desperate need of some transforming, but super cool. So now let's go ahead and work on installing the steering wheel cover. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do, just give this thing a quick little wipe down with some alcohol to make sure that the tape sticks. We'll just run it all the way down, and we'll do 2 strips of these, 1 for each side. So if we come take a look at it, you'll have to let me know down below what you think, but I love how it turned out. You know, these things are an absolute pain to install. Takes a lot of time, super tedious. I'm super happy with how it turned out. These pieces look really good as well. I was a little bit nervous about that since, you know, there's nowhere to tuck it, but I think those look good. But yeah, really did change the feel of the steering wheel, and it just actually feels a whole lot better too. And it pairs together with the seats perfect. So that was a big reason why I went with this, because it is a perfect match to go with our new seat covers. So yeah, I'll just give you all one last quick look at everything, but huge shout out once again to Kustom Interior for sending these over. I'm extremely happy with how they turned out. Feel awesome, they look great, looks so good with the steering wheel, and I cannot wait to see the rest of the interior come together. So the rest of this interior will be tidied up here soon, but at least for now, we've got the new steering wheel cover with the new seats and the seat covers. It's really starting to feel a whole lot more like a civilian car and not some old bare police vehicle. So we're in the shop. Want to give a special shout out. So if you all just want to say your name real quick and why you're here.
I'm Keith Ross. This is my wife Patricia and my son Keith Ross Jr. We're here to pick up some coil packs for my 2015 Dodge Charger R2 Pursuit. Go check me out, Beast 345 Hemi on TikTok.
And I'm Patricia Ross, and my TikTok is SheDevil229SRTA.
So make sure to go check out their cars and their pages. But super awesome people. They drove all the way up here to pick up some coil packs I had for sale on Marketplace. And it was really cool to get to meet them, kind of show them a little bit around about the shop and stuff. So thank you all so much for coming by.
And I've been following him for years.
Huge shout out. Okay, so I think this is where we're going to call it for today. So I hope you all enjoyed seeing this little transformation and, you know, seeing what you can do with your interior for under $600. You know, super happy with how it turned out. These seats were hideous. You know, they had tears in there and just that cloth looks so bad. So super excited that not only did we get new seats in there, but we got them with these awesome seat covers. I'll definitely be using these in some future cars as well. But yeah, it's crazy. It feels like a totally different car in here. So let us know down below what we should do next. Do you think that for our next build video with this Dodge Charger, should we finish up the interior? Or do you think that we should start chipping away at the exterior now as well? You know, we've got new wheels, new lights all around, and exhaust. So we still have so much to do with this Charger. So it's really just a question of what we want to do next. And yeah, make sure to go get entered into this giveaway so you can win this car over on our website, AtlanticBeachCustoms.com. Every $5 you spend will earn you 1 entry. So go pick a t-shirt up, go pick up some air fresheners, give yourself a shot at winning this thing, because I'm telling you, by the time this build is done, it is going to be such a cool car and a total one of one, and you could be added up here to our winner wall right next to all of our previous winners. Stay tuned for our next Charger uploads, and stay tuned for this Friday for our next Jeep video. But thank you all again for watching. Hope you have a great day, and we will catch you all soon.